Imagine someone secretly making hundreds of decisions for you every single day. Decisions about who you trust, what you buy, who you fall in love with, even what kind of future you believe you deserve. Now imagine that someone is trying to keep you alive, but not necessarily happy. That's exactly what your brain is doing. And by the end of this video, you'll see why some of the worst decisions you've ever made may have felt like the safest ones. Think about the last time you stayed in a situation you knew wasn't good for you. Maybe it was a job you hated, a friendship that drained you, or a habit you promised yourself you'd quit on Monday. You knew it wasn't helping. So why didn't you stop? Most people blame a lack of discipline. That's comforting, because it means you could simply try harder next time. But that's not what your brain believes is happening. It thinks it's protecting you. Your brain has one job above all else: survival. Not success, not happiness. Survival. And that's a surprisingly important difference. Imagine your brain as an old security guard working the night shift. Every time something new appears, it doesn't ask, "Could this improve our life?" It asks, "Could this get us killed?" That tiny difference changes almost every decision you make. This is why staying where you are often feels easier than moving forward. Your brain treats the familiar like a safe neighborhood. It may be ugly, it may be boring, but it knows every street. The unknown is a dark alley. Even if something amazing is waiting there, your brain would rather keep walking the streets it already knows. That's why people stay in bad relationships longer than they should. It's why they keep jobs they complain about every morning. It's why changing your life feels exciting on Sunday night and impossible by Tuesday afternoon. Have you ever noticed how making one small change can feel strangely exhausting, even when you wanted it? There's a reason. Your brain is constantly trying to save energy. Thinking deeply burns more energy than following habits. So once your brain learns a routine, it puts that routine on autopilot. It's like walking the same path through a park every day. The first time, you have to look around. After a while, your feet know exactly where to go. Habits work the same way. Good ones, bad ones. Your brain doesn't care which. It only cares that they're familiar. That's why breaking a bad habit feels like walking through thick snow while the old path is still perfectly clear. But habits aren't the biggest trap. There's something even stranger. Have you ever wondered why you sometimes know the right decision and still make the wrong one? Imagine you're shopping online. You don't need another pair of shoes. You know that before opening the app. 5 minutes later, you've ordered them anyway. What happened? Your brain loves immediate rewards. Thousands of years ago, waiting too long could mean missing food, shelter, or safety. The humans who grabbed opportunities quickly were often the ones who survived. Your brain still carries that ancient software. The problem is that modern life changed much faster than your brain did. Calories are unlimited. Notifications never stop. Entertainment fits in your pocket. Every swipe, every like, every tiny reward whispers the same message: take it now. Your brain listens. Saving money for next year can't compete with buying something that feels good today. Studying for an exam tomorrow can't compete with another funny video tonight. Your brain isn't asking which choice builds a better future. It's asking which choice feels rewarding right now. And that's where many bad decisions begin. But here's the part that surprised me the most. Your brain doesn't just chase rewards. It also edits reality. Think about the last argument you had with someone. If you're like most people, you probably remember exactly why you were right. The other person probably remembers exactly why they were right too. That isn't because one of you is lying. It's because your brain quietly edits memories to protect the story it tells about you. Nobody likes believing they're the villain. So your brain smooths the rough edges. It highlights your reasons. It softens your mistakes. Like a movie editor cutting scenes that don't fit the main character. If you've ever looked back years later and realized, I was completely wrong. You've already caught your brain rewriting the script. Now, let me ask you something. How many decisions in your life were actually yours, and how many simply felt comfortable because your brain had already chosen for you? That's not an easy question. I don't like thinking about it either. There have been moments when I knew exactly what I should do, but I kept choosing what felt familiar instead. At the time, it seemed logical. Looking back, I realized I wasn't making a careful decision. I was protecting an old version of myself. Maybe you've done the same. Maybe that's why real change feels so uncomfortable. Not because you're becoming someone new, but because your brain is trying to keep someone old alive. The good news is that your brain isn't your enemy. It's more like an outdated GPS. It still works. It still wants to help you. But if the map hasn't been updated in years, it keeps sending you down roads that no longer exist. You don't throw the GPS away. You update the map. Every time you pause before reacting, every time you question a habit instead of following it, every time you choose a difficult action that your future self will thank you for, you're teaching your brain that the unfamiliar isn't always dangerous. Little by little, today's scary road becomes tomorrow's normal path. Remember the question we started with? Why does your brain love bad decisions? It doesn't. It loves safe decisions. The problem is that safe and good stopped meaning the same thing a long time ago. And once you realize that, the next bad decision you almost make might be the first one you finally understand before you make it.